Hello, this is Matt Danielson, and I'll be demonstrating the Wireshark lab for the ARP version. So on the left over here I have Wireshark, on the right I have the lab instructions. So I'll go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is start a new packet capture. I'm going to come to my browser. Here's the bill of rights that the lab has you navigate to. So I'll go ahead and send that request, and then stop the packet capture. Now if you look at my Wireshark, I have turned off the enable protocol for IPv4 so that way I can see the device's Ethernet addresses. So if I look for the HTTP GET message, this is it right here. You can see this is a GET. The thing it's going to ask me is what's the Ethernet address of my computer. I can see that looking here on the source frame or source line of the frame. So my Ethernet address is going to be this, which is also the MAC address, 9048.9A.0072D9. The destination address is going to be, or the Ethernet address that it's being sent to is this one right here that starts with an 88. This is not the destination of where the page is coming from. This is to my Motorola F5 router that's in my house. If I look at the hexadecimal value in the frame field, I'm going to see right here it's 0800, which is IPv4. And then how many bytes does the G start in the GET? If I look here on the data, I can see the G is here. And if I count the bytes on the left side over here, it starts 54 bytes from the start of the frame. If I look at the response message of the HTTP, that is going to be right here, where this is an HTTP OK. In this case, the source address is from my Motorola router, and it's coming back to my computer. The frame field again is 0800, that's IPv4, and the O in this case is going to be again 54 bytes from the start of the frame. Now what I can do is I can go and clear my ARP cache on my computer. So actually, so I can demonstrate how to do that. If I go ahead and I come to my command prompt, I'm on a Windows 10, I can go ahead and I can look at my ARP table. So here I have my internet addresses and the physical addresses. I also have the type, but I can go ahead and clear that with ARP-D wildcard. And if I look again, a lot of the entries have been cleared. So now I'm actually going to load in the example lab Wireshark packet capture because I was having a little bit of a tough time getting this portion to work. If I go ahead and load that, it's this Ethernet Ethereal Trace 1 file provided by the textbook authors. I look at the ARP command, which is the first one. This one here, it's the message is who has this address. So if I look at the source, let's see. If I look at the source and destination addresses, the source address is coming from the computer that is sending. The destination is actually all F's. This is a broadcast, so it's asking who has that Ethernet address. The hexadecimal for the protocol is 0806, which is ARP. And then if I look at the ARP specification, the opcode for this is going to start, I believe it's 20 bytes. Let me look at my lab answers. yes, 20 bytes from the start of the Ethernet frame. And so that is going to be right here, which is 0001, which means it's a request. If I look at the response, that one is going to be right here, telling us where that Ethernet address is. The source is going to be where the router, the destination is the computer that's asking, and then the hex value is still ARP, so that's the same. And the opcode is going to be 0002, which is for a response. And then the reason that the request was all F's is because it's a broadcast, so it doesn't know who has that IP Ethernet address. Now, if I wanted to add, if I added the wrong Ethernet address to an IP address to my ARP table, it would actually be okay, because when it contacts the router is going to use ARP, and when the router uses ARP, it will get back the correct address. Now, these are the extra credit questions, by the way. Now, for extra credit number 2, if I wanted to find out the ARP cache timeout for my computer, I looked this up, and because I have Windows 10, I'm looking for a variable called reachable time. If I go in, I can do a command that is, if I look at my lab here for a second, I'm going to run net sh interface IPv4 show interfaces, and this will show me all of the different interfaces that my computer is running. So I want to do the top one, which is wireless network connection, and that has an index of 23. So if I do this command a little differently, netsh interface IPv4 show interface, I'm going to use 23 and get statistics about my wireless connection interface. I can see right here the reachable time is 37,500 milliseconds. So that is my ARP timeout. So that concludes my demonstration of the Wireshark ARP lab. Thank you.